We have voicemails to listen to, don't we, Ian?
We do.
Go to anchor.fm/the CU podcast if you want to listen to voicemails, what you're doing right now. And try to keep it short and sweet and try to make us laugh, too. That's always fun. Here's the first one.
Hey, Pat and Ian. This is Liz from Rochester, New York. This question is for Pat. Pat, did you ever consider that UFOs are just history classes from the future coming back to observe the past?
No, I haven't. I have not. I have not thought about that.
I have not put that one through the brain.
On our paranormal podcast, I have not thought about that. I guess
tripping.
I guess I would say, why they look so much different than us at that point? Were we like a million years into the future of evolution at that point?
Super asparagus. Super greens.
Super asparagus, super greens.
Centuries of super
I like the first. It's like, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother. Speaking of late 90s. Next one here.
Awful song.
Hey, Pat, Ian. Dakota calling in here for the first time from Colorado. I love listening to the show. My question for both of you is, when it comes to playing a game at home, what game do you play best? So whether it be for a high score or a fast completion time or competition against another player or a computer player, what game are you totally confident that you'd be number one at outside of an event that was like professional or competitive or something like that? Mine is hands down Mario Kart 64, and I'm curious to hear what your guys are. Thanks, and stay safe.
What's one game that you would just dominate?
So we've gone through this a little bit before, but Fire Pro Wrestling. It's the only game I'm good at, and I could probably take on just about anyone.
I never played you at that.
Nope.
We should do that. That'd be a struggle, just like a pro wrestling struggle. We're always neck and neck.
Yeah, I'm real good at Fire Pro.
I want to take you on. What's fun about playing Fire Pro against someone is that it's great because you have to create like a wrestling match.
You do. I mean, like Fire Pro Wrestling World will give you a grade based. I mean, if you go in there and you just fucking dominate,
you have to treat it like a real sports entertainment.
You will get you'll win, but you'll get a low rating on your win.
Yeah.
The goal is to win and get a high rating.
So, Street Fighter games I'm good at. So Street Fighter is one that I would dominate at usually. And then other multiplayer that I'd be great at. Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Super Bowl, I'm usually pretty good at. Unless I'm coaching, then against Ian, and then there's 18 fumbles.
Yeah, that's right.
And then maybe ice hockey. I rumors that I'm pretty good at ice hockey.
Yeah, he might be good at that one. He might be. He might rabbit.
Hey, what's up, Pat and Ian? I know before this whole situation with Wata and the Carl Jobst, whatever video, Wata really didn't have a good name, right? I know, at least amongst collectors, everyone kind of knew that they were shady, that there was some backdoor stuff going on. What do you think it would take to garnish some faith in WADA as an organization and to kind of look past what we've seen thus far? Or do you think it's impossible? I figured it was certainly worthwhile to ask. Thanks a lot, guys.
Population reports,
but I think they might be too late. They looked at as kind of like the boogeyman by a lot of like at too many games. People were like making fun, like walking around saying, "Oh, there's Wata over there," or actually no, they weren't there. They're doing that for heritage auctions. But they were having that comment for Wata Games.
You said Wata.
They backed out. They backed out. Games. But because there was about 5 or 6 vendors. By the way, at there was almost no Wata graded games, almost none. In Connecticut at Retro Expo, there was a lot of too many games. It's interesting. But they were like, people were snickering. I was walking around, they were snickering. Oh, the heritage auction game. So like among the regular people, the damage has been done potentially.
Sure.
Population reports would be big, but they also got to come clean and say this behavior by people involved in our company was wrong. It'll not happen again. We had a guy involved with us that was selling games on the side that were graded that should not have been allowed by our own rules.
Yeah.
They should have said that's what they would have needed. At least to me.
Yeah, I feel like that, and like I said, population reports I think would be a good faith start. Yeah,
a start, but I don't think it's going to, yeah.
Hey, Pat and Ian, my name is Jerry. First time.
Jerry,
you guys a few months back actually discussed my article on Howard Scott Warshaw that was in Wired, a few months back.
Good job, Jerry.
So thanks for that. My question is, with Halloween rapidly approaching, what's the chance that the Link costume behind Ian there will be broken out of the box and be worn on a very special Halloween episode of the CU podcast?
Well,
I think the world.
That's
rough,
Jerry.
The world needs right now, Pat. So
the world needs Ian's face compressed
in
that vinyl suit.
And, keep on keeping on. Love the podcast. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. Good job with the article.
Yeah, that was a good one. No, I will never wear that costume. It's terrifying.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. It's Zach in Ottawa, Ontario. Calling. Yeah, love the show. A long time ago, you guys were both mentioning consoles that you thought were overrated, and you both said you sort of thought so with the Neo Geo. So what I'm wondering is, how come? Is it the price, or do you just think the games aren't as good as people claim? I might argue with that, but either or, thank you for the show, and take care.
Did we ever say that?
So I don't think we ever said the Neo Geo was overrated. The only thing I could think of I've ever maybe said, I mean, I'm a huge SNK fan. Like, that's known.
I mean, overrated. I mean,
I don't think it's overrated. The only thing I can think of that I've ever said negatively about it is, at this point, unless you have a shitload of money, it's not worth getting into collecting Neo Geo.
Oh, absolutely, you can't.
Especially because the library is relatively small, and SNK and Hamster and other companies have gone above and beyond getting those games on compilations, on digital storefronts. I mean, most of the very good games on the Neo Geo you can get in compilations or for $7.99 through individual purchases. I would never disparage the quality of the games coming from SNK. I think this is a case of
it's
totally
not worth the
misunderstanding.
It's not worth the money to get to buy the real stuff.
And I understand collecting expensive thing, but Neo Geo stuff, like AES stuff, is just fucking insane. And I wouldn't get into collecting it for fear of bootlegs on the really expensive stuff. I would never recommend collecting Neo Geo stuff. But I love SNK games. I love what that system produced, and I love the MVS. So I have no idea where we're getting the overrated.
I think it's rated. It's weird.
I thought you were going to say N64 or Super Nintendo, because whenever that question comes up, I always say it's the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, the games are fun. They're fine. It's not a pretentious system. It's just expensive.
Yeah. But I mean, it's loaded full of great fighters, good shooters.
It's an arcade system, literally.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So yeah, I don't know where that comes from. Next one.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. My name is Patrick from Elgin, Illinois. My question is for Pat.
Oh.
Hey, Pat. A couple of weeks ago, you mentioned you were watching X-Files, and I was wondering which season was your favorite. Mine was season 2, because I felt that's when the show really came into its own. Love the podcast, and don't forget, the truth is out there.
It is. I
do love
I'm on season 5 now, and it's starting to look a little weird in season 5. It's like, they're starting to do a little too much now. They're spending too much. Season 2 is out. Season 1's outstanding. Yeah. There's been like 2 clunkers in all of season 1, even 2 or 3. And season 2, though, by then that was like the hottest show on TV, like season 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, seasons 1 through 3 are all fantastic.
Yeah, 4 I thought was pretty good. Once you get to 5, I'm like, okay, they're starting not to tie up anything. And that's when people probably start to have issues.
Right.
The movie came out after season 5, I believe, and that's when it's like they should have answered questions. And the problem was the movie they didn't.
Right. 5's just a long episode.
5 should have been the conclusion to the first fucking seasons, and they didn't do it.
Right.
Chris Carter, I love you for creating the show, but at some point you almost had to have someone say, Chris, we gotta tie up these story ends. It's going on for 5, 6 fucking years now.
Yeah. You
can have maybe one giant story that but you can't just keep expanding the mythos without answering something. I got out of it after like season 6.
No, I did too. I'm one of those people who I think I watched seasons 1 through 4 and maybe got halfway through 5. I did not, and I haven't watched the episodes they've done after either.
They're good. The standalones are good.
Yeah,
the classic Monster of the Weeks are good. Again, it's is
that how they did the new? Oh episodes?
Yeah, you'd have like. Well, the first season that came out was only 6 episodes. You'd have like two like alien eccentric ones or government, and the rest were standalones.
Oh,
so nice. It's like the standalones are people's favorites. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
because they're like procedurals, but they're monsters. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I liked that.
Oh, they were good, but they didn't end on a satisfying note. It was like they left it open-ended the last episodes. They thought they were going to come back, even though Gillian Anderson said, I'm not coming back. This is it. Chris Carter, you should have believed her. You should have ended it after the second. You're lucky you got a revival season at all, or 2 seasons with that. I think they should just do like a movie to finish it up.
Do you trust them at this point to actually finish it?
I think Chris realizes he has to. The actual second movie that came out, I want to believe, was a standalone like episode type of movie. So you go watch that; it's fine. It wasn't great, but at least it was a standalone monster sort of tale.
Pat, Ian, what's up? Josh again with my 10th question.
Hey, Josh.
Have you guys ever had any kind of weird fan encounters? Anybody ever come up to you and just acted weird, or any nice encounters? Someone who wanted a picture, or maybe wanted to shake your hand at the grocery store? Thanks.
No nice encounters ever. No, 99.9% of the encounters are nice.
Yeah.
I've had maybe a handful of bad experiences in 10 years.
Yeah, I haven't had many bad experiences. No, most of the time it's nice. Most of the time it's just people who are like, hey, I actually, first time in a while, I was standing in line at the grocery store, and the dude in front of me turns around and looks at me, then turns around and looks at me again, and goes, do you do a podcast? And I was like,
oh, really? Locally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up at Barron's.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah. And we chatted for a bit. But most of the time, it's very nice people who realize that you're a person who has their own life and you're doing things. And they just want to say hey and shake your hand. I get a lot of people at Comic-Con and stuff like that who I'll walk by and they'll look at me and just be like, hey. And, that's...
they're treating you like a Hollywood celebrity where you don't want to bother them.
They're just like, hey. And I mean, you can say hi. I don't mind. But yeah, I mean, most of these people aren't going to try to take up all of your time. There have been some bad instances, and I'm not going to dwell on them.
No, I had one bad instance that happened at Retropalooza, but before that, I couldn't tell you when the last one was before that. It must have been years where it was a bad experience where someone that was didn't know social boundaries and didn't know, basically trying almost to troll in person. You can tell there was something wrong. Yeah, something like that. But no, I was actually, the funny thing is at the airport when you get noticed, people, not that you're a celebrity, but they must see people so security be like, yeah, like what you do. While they're in TSA, that's happened to me a few times. Oh, you're Pat, right? Yeah. So they're not allowed to talk or.
One of the guys who checks IDs,
I can tell you he knew you.
He's recognized me.
Because they got to be professional.
Yep.
The last time that happened was actually was at coming back from Retropalooza in Texas. It wasn't a TSA worker. It was one of the restaurant employee, one of the waiters. Even there, being professional, was like, "Hey Pat, like your stuff." Just it didn't talk to me again. That was it. I was like, "Oh hey," I was like, "Hey, that was it." That was it. Obviously, it depends on the location, like swap meet or it just happened on the streets. Frank's got recognized randomly by people. Frank kind of stands out.
Patriots reporter Tom Curran delivered us a story this week about Tom Brady's rookie year in New England when him and his housemates would play Tecmo Bowl tournaments to decide who was Tecmo King of the House. And when he would lose, Brady would either throw the controller and dent the wall or stomp on the ground to make the game short out. Who knew Tom Brady was a controller thrower? Peace, fellas.
I like that message. It literally just goes right.
It's a news story.
Yeah.
Thank you, Samuel. Anytime that was the perfect. Thank you. That was perfect. But he's very competitive. I can picture him. I'm like that. I'm very competitive. I don't throw controllers though. But you sure?
What a little baby.
I know there's been Deflategate, and was there a controller-looking gate?
What a little babby.
You can tell he's a baby deep down.
Fucking
Brady.
babby.
Next one.
Skip. Hey, Pat and Ian, this is Connor calling from Pork Roll City. First time, long time. I recently got a tattoo of a Friendly's Monster Mash Sundae.
Wow.
On my upper thigh. I'll send you a picture if you want to see it. I just didn't want to unsolicited send you a picture of my body.
Thank you.
If you guys were to get a tattoo of a northeastern food delicacy, like a Friendly Sundae, what would it be and why? I'm asking because I'm curious and I need more ideas for tattoos. All right. Thanks, guys.
I got to ask you, are you getting free Friendly's ice cream because of the tattoo? Or are you just doing it willy-nilly? Because there used to be those ones that way, you get a tattoo of a taco, you get a free food or whatever. And I think I read a story someone got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of food over the years.
I recently read a story about a taco chain up in, I think it was San Francisco, that did that, and it was you could get one meal a week.
That's probably what I'm referencing.
You could get one meal. You could get one dinner a week if you got the tattoo. And they I think 15 people over the course of it being open, and it's no longer open, did it, and they kind of formed a friend group.
Nice.
And the restaurant that opened after the old Mexican place sold its location, still honors the tattoo for a 1 free meal. The people who sold the restaurant made sure it was in the contract that people who had the tattoo could still get 1 free meal at whatever restaurant
was it a Mexican place that opened after?
I think it's South American. I think they do like pupusas and stuff like that, but still like good food.
Okay.
But I after reading that article, I actually said to myself, this isn't a Northeast one, but I would get the Nikos chicken tattooed on my arm for a free burrito a week.
One burrito a week.
One burrito a week.
So you're talking, that's like $350 a year, we'll just say. That's all.
That's all it takes.
That's what it takes.
That's what it would take. So I would do that.
Would you ask them if they would honor that? Would you be man enough to get that tattoo if you went up to say, if I'll do this?
If they agreed, I'd probably do that. I don't know if it'd be on my arm, but it'd be somewhere.
Would you ask them now? Would you?
I'd put it right here on my calf, probably.
Yeah, but then that's not really advertising for them.
Well, that's where the tattoo plate. Most of the people got the tattoo stuff done. They got on their calves, or
you got to ask them now, Ian.
Yeah, I'd think about it.
I think you got to ask them.
Northeast, big plate of saucy wings, or maybe
big plate,
maybe the Mighty Taco logo.
I gotta see the Monster Mash Sunday is a variant of the witch one, but it looks more like Yoda. It's got two, instead of having the cone. That's not what the teller. I mean, they're all eyes of like a Reese's Pieces. It has the ears of like a bat, peanut butter cups cut in half.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
And they go mint chocolate chip. They do a green ice cream.
Ooh.
So see, Friendly's has a cover for every seasonal variety.
They sure as fuck do. That's a good Sunday.
But I was trying to think. Now I'm curious. Is your tattoo, sir? Is it just the head and the ears, or does it also include the goblet that it goes in? Like
yes.
Now I'm curious about how that is. I would probably do that for Cookie Puss if I get
Cookie Puss, Cookie Puss.
All right, I'll do a couple more here.
Pat and Ian, Carlos from California. I had a quick question regarding restoring old games. I know in the past you guys have talked about how putting a freshly printed sticker on an NES game can destroy the value and can be used to deceive people. So I had a quick hypothetical I wanted to throw at you guys. If you had a copy of Dinosaur Peak and the back sticker was just obliterated, I'm sure you'd agree it's unethical to swap that back plate with one from a different NES game. But let's say you had 2 copies of Dinosaur Peak, one with a good front label and one with a good back sticker. Is it unethical to swap these parts around so that you have a good copy and a bad copy?
No.
Is there any wiggle room since it's the
I don't think
that's bad, and I don't think
because they're materially the same thing.
Materially the same. It's not a reproduction of it. It's the back is the same. It's the same. It's the same. It doesn't matter. The sticker itself is unique.
Yeah. The back sticker actually changes. There's about, I want to say 5 to 8 different stickers. So like Dinosaur Peak's a good example. That sticker's a later one, so it's a lot more written on it. So that you have to find the same back to that. But overall, I wouldn't care about that.
No, neither would I.
It's the same. I mean, it's just that they pump them out in the factory next to each other. Just, I wouldn't care about that.
My problem is it always comes right down to reproductions, and once you put a reproduction on there, you've already, you can do it, but people need to know about it, and you've already, I mean, it's not the real label.
And plus, they look worse. So, I mean,
I have yet to see a good reproduction label.
All right, we'll do 2 more here. This is a closer one here for you.
Hey guys, this is Joe from Niagara Falls, New York. Just had a quick question for Ian. Growing up in Buffalo, did you ever come to Niagara Falls? Did you have any memories going to any restaurants or places that you'd like to go here? Thanks.
Yeah, we definitely used to go to Niagara Falls. It's like 25 minutes away. I don't think people realize how close the falls actually are to Buffalo. You can be there in no time. I think my favorite memory of the falls, and they don't do it anymore, but they used to do it was called the Festival of Lights. And they would do it in Niagara Falls, in the main downtown area, near the bridge, near the Peace Bridge. And it was just a summer festival that they would do where all these buildings would get decked out in like crazy Christmas lights. There was a garden you could walk around inside. There was buildings that you could go into that had like the animatronic displays. And it was just this big Christmas.
It was a big Ian?
Yeah. It was just a big Christmas. That's what you get. It was a big Christmas display. And I used to love doing it. And there was another one called the Festival of Trees, which was indoors. And there was tons and tons of Christmas trees decorated. And I have really, really fond memories of that when I was a kid. And honestly, when I think of Niagara Falls, that's big, just kind of what I think of. So, yeah.
All right, one more. We have an update on the website here, Ian.
The Rainbow Bridge, not the Peace Bridge. Anyway.
Yeah. Update. The Intellivision Amico FAQ is pretty much ready to go. I just wanted you guys to hear it first because you know you're my favorite people. So here we go. Number 1. What's the actual release date for the Amico? Answer. December 31st, 2021 at exactly 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just before the ball drops in Times Square. Number 2. Can I use the coins from the game boxes to do my laundry? Answer. Anything is possible. Smiley face. Number 3. Is the Space Strikers game based on the 90s animated series of the same name? Answer. If you want it to be. Number 4. When can we expect an update on Earthworm Jim? Answer. Thank you for your interest. Number 5. If I endorse the Amico, will you plug my YouTube channel even if I strangle kittens on it? Answer. Intellivision absolutely does not condone that behavior. But yes, that should cover it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. We know what's going to be in the FAQ.
Yeah, that's good. It's great.
Kitten stranglers, talk to Tommy. He'll still push you. There you go.
They need every last minute of this year to get it out on time.
Every last second?
Mm-hmm.
They have to go to like the Hawaiian time zone, the very last one or whatever it is, somewhere in the Pacific.